Good morning. Hi. Come on in. I'm so excited. It's here. It's the day. Today is Wednesday, and it's the day that I answer the question, when is an Amazon order not an Amazon order? Now, before you say anything, that reflection in my glasses is coming from the windows over. Can't do anything about it. I'll try to be mindful of it, but I don't want you looking at the reflection. Look at the smile and wait till you see what I've got for you. You saw the thumbnail? That's the box that we're going to go through. That's why I'm sitting in the clam chair, because the box is so big and so heavy. I needed room to open it. I have a massive 3-page list of what we're going to go through, all related to that one question. So before we begin, hello, come on in and set a spell with me. I don't know how long or how short this is going to be, but this is going to be a one subject video. We're not going to do what's around the corner. We're not going to talk about Mr. Levi or Mama or anything else. We'll save that for the next one. This is all about answering that question and sharing with you an amazing way to shop that I found, at least for me, has been extremely cost effective. And I'll give you an example. What would you say if you could buy $121.59 of products for only $47.25? That's like 60, 70% off. What about if you could buy $98.70 worth of items and only pay $27.57? That's again like 60% off. And these are useful household items, food products, electronics, kitchen. Seriously, guys, right? I know this has been a cliffhanger for a couple of videos. I'm just so excited to show you. So I'm going to answer the question for you, and I was going to use an answer that we got from one of, you know what? Hold on. I will. Hold on. I'll be right back. Okay. I think I'm ready. So the question was, when is an Amazon order not an Amazon order? And the answer I got that pretty much hits the nail on the head came from one of you. And the answer is, when a seller of Amazon sells the Amazon products as an unopened or like new at a reduced cost. Okay, so let me clarify that. Amazon sells all these products to you and I. They sell these products to retailers, to other wholesalers. They sell to anybody who's willing to buy it. Okay. So when the buyers get these products, they either decide, oh, I like it, I don't like it, and they send it back. Or maybe the retailers, the big box stores or other places that buy Amazon products, they don't sell enough of them and they want to return them. Right. Or maybe they don't sell any of them and they want to return them. Or maybe Amazon or whoever originally had the item has an overstock and can't sell them. All those things go into what's called Amazon return pallets. So, what happens? Well, you've heard me talk about Melissa the Cheap Chick, and there are a lot of other companies and places out there. They buy these full pallets at a time, and then they open them at random, not knowing what's in them, and they sell them at bottom dollar prices. Literally pennies of the value. So it is an Amazon order, because they were ordered from Amazon by whomever the purchaser might have been. But it ends up not being an Amazon order because we're getting it through that third party reseller when it comes off as a pallet product. Now, these are a steal. Where do we find these? Where do you and I find these? We find them at places primarily like WhatNot. WhatNot.com has hundreds of resellers that buy up these pallets, just like Melissa, the cheap chick, does, because she has a show that she does on Whatnot. But they buy up these pallets in quantities, in big quantities. Now, some of them specialize in they look at the manifest of the pallet, and maybe they only want clothing, or maybe they only want electronics, or maybe they only want toys or sports or some sort of category. But for you and I, the majority of our shopping we do is very generic. It's household items, it's Christmas items, birthday gifts, maybe a few electronics, right? Things that we need or that we're going to use or things that we want to gift. Maybe there is a sports buff in your family and you want to do something. Well, I'm going to teach you all about WhatNot. I have been doing this now, researching it, purchasing from various shops, and trying to get as much expertise as you can for shopping on this so that I can give you true tips and tricks of shopping WhatNot and not going broke. Okay? Have you ever been to an auction? Auctions can be very addictive. You can be wanting to bid, and before you know it, you've bought a bunch of stuff that you really didn't need or really didn't want. And on WhatNot, you have to be careful because so far there's only one shop that I found that will actually cancel a bid if you do that cancellation while the show is still live. Everybody else, you need to bid responsibly because you cannot cancel your bid. Most of them do not do returns, and they will only do refunds if you show that the product got damaged. But we'll talk about that as we go along. Okay. So let's get started. I'm anxious to show you. This big box actually has 2 orders in it. It came in 2 separate boxes, but I put it all into one just to make it easy. So the premier shop, and word to the wise right off the bat, only go to premier shops when you want to look for things to purchase. Premier shops have a higher rating. They've been doing this longer. They've gained the respect of their fellow presenters, so to speak, the other stores, because they have an excellent A+++ reputation. They only put up good, safe, quality products. They ship quickly. Everything is just very, very above board and already acknowledged and established as being, think of it as a 5-star place. All right. So that's your first tip. Premier shops only. So after several days of hunting, the first premier shop I found was called SuperBUYS. SuperBUYS. I'll put it up here for you guys to see. And we're going to go over my first 4 items. My first order was only 4 items, and we're going to go over those 4 items. I'm going to give you all the price deals. I'm going to walk you through this, and I'm going to show you what I got in normal household, going to the grocery store, going to Walmart, Target, whatever, normal things, everyday use kind of things. I'm going to show you how much I saved. Now, before we begin, one more thing. This is not like Temu because it is, number one, not coming in from China, right here in the good old USA. They do have some United Kingdom shops in case that's where you're located. Their shipping is literally from the date of order to date of receipt. On average, I'm finding 5 days. Okay, but we're going to go over all that stuff. But Temu has a lot of lower priced, as we know, cheaper items. You have to wait forever for them, or you have to pay for the local warehouse, blah, 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 blah. This, to me, in my opinion, beats Temu hands down. I would say 99% of these things I'm going to show you. But then again, most of them you can't get on Temu, or you wouldn't want to get on Temu. Okay, you ready? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you, if I can get down to it, where is it? You have to bear with me because this box is full of boxes. All right. Oh, that's not it. Where are you? Oh, there you are. All right. The first thing I'm going to show you is called PB Fit Classic. Have you guys ever gotten powdered peanut butter? Now, some of you may and say, ew, red. Well, I don't use it for peanut butter sandwiches because I agree with you. But because it doesn't have oil, that fat, grease, everything else in it, it doesn't have that classic quality of regular jarred peanut butter like the brand names. But I use this for making low fat, low calorie, low everything peanut butter cookies. This is a great way to make a snack. This is a massive size bottle. This is 15-ounce bottle. Now, this bottle retails on Amazon and in most places that you can get it. On Amazon, it's $8.98, right? Plus, not counting tax, right? With taxes, it's $9.70. So keep that in mind, $9.70. On the auction, I bought this bottle for $4 plus 32 cents in taxes. No shipping. And when I explain the shipping to you later on, you're going to understand. So for a total of $4.32, I got a $9.70 item. I saved $5.38 on this. $4.32. Guys, seriously, if you like baking, if you like peanut butter, and even if you like peanut butter sandwiches and you don't want that extra oily, extra greasy, look at this. 60 calories. 60 calories. All right. Zero, total of 2 grams of fat, 0 trans fats, cholesterol, 0. Sodium is only 95 milligrams. When did you ever see peanut butter like that? Are you intrigued at the very least? You might not all be peanut butter eaters, but you know what? If you have kids, grandkids, great grandkids that like peanut butter sandwiches, you can try this. It's just a simple mix. You only add water to it. That's all you do. It's only dehydrated roasted peanuts. That's all it is. When you take out all those oils and all that processing stuff, peanuts are very healthy. That's why everybody says if you're going to eat peanuts, get peanuts in the shell that haven't been so processed. Get them in their natural state. But for baking peanut butter cookies, OMG, you can eat a dozen of them and they're only like 40, 50 calories for an entire dozen. Yeah, I like that. All right. Next thing on this list that I got, and you're going to see this is not all food products. This is an insect trap. It's an insect trap from Konnee. Right. This is an electronic insect trap. Let me see. This is for indoors or outdoors. I did get this for indoors. I don't have a bug problem outside, but going in and out with Levi all the time and the doors being opened, I have a problem with no-see-ums and flies and everything else getting into the house. This will take care of that problem. This is a 360-degree mosquito trap, fly trap, timer switch, LED lights, low noise, sticky glue guards on the inside so nothing gets away. and it tracks them with ultrasonic sound. So I'm sitting on the couch last night and I got these little no-see-ums and little mosquitoes just flitting about. And I'm like, I gotta get this thing open. That's what this is. Now I'm going to open it and I'm going to show this to you because I want you to see the product. But when they're selling it to you, this is what you see. They'll hold up the box for you. They'll read you the information that I read you about what it's good for. You'll see that it's new in the box. And that's what you'll base your bidding on. Most of the time, every once in a while, a couple of them will open it to show you. Hold on, I gotta get in here. There we go. Pack of filters. Mosquito killer, and I think there is 5 in here. Let me see. Let me see. Got to do the thing with the glasses. 10. There's at least 10, and these are the little things that go, little discs that go in on the inside of this. Pull this up. Comes with your instruction booklet. Toss the box over there because it's not going back in the box when I'm done. It is USB chargeable. And this is a decent length cord. This is not one of those little mini short cord thingies. All right, this one I think is 3 feet. Yeah. This is a full 3-foot charging cord. So you got lots of space. And I do believe it has to stay plugged into the cord to run. Yes. So you've got lots of space. And let's get into the bag itself. There's a fan. Can you see this? If you look through, you can just see the grids. There's a fan in here, and the ultrasonic makes the sound from down here. There's your charging port or your power port. Your power button and everything is up here on top. Right there. All right. And this is, as you can see, this is a USA company. Just the bottom. This is where you're going to dump your bugs from. You can dump your bugs from there. Very simply, when it's plugged in, you push the power button, and up here, it'll draw all of them. They come down in here, and their history. So it's very nice. It's very attractive. It's black and gold. It's small. It's about the size. If you were to take a quart of milk and squish it down, it's about the size of that. It's not super, super big, but it is very, very attractive. So I am going to be sitting this on the floor next to the dehumidifier. And I'll let you know how it works. But great product. Absolutely love that. Now, you want to know what that thing cost? Okay. It retails with tax. The cheapest I could find it anywhere, even outside of Amazon, was $35.63. $35.63 for this. I paid $6. I won this in the auction for $6. Shipping and taxes was $2.87. So instead of spending $35.63 for this, not counting shipping, that's just cost and tax, I spent $8.87. I saved $26.76. And this is indoor, outdoor. You can put this on the patio. And the range, I believe, oh, I threw the box over there. I believe the range is something like 15 feet. So in your immediate area where you're sitting at the patio, if you have an open front porch, not screened like mine, if you're sitting on your front porch, then you'll have that protection. It'll draw the mosquitoes there. It'll draw the no-see-ums there. Guys, seriously? That's a savings. What do you think? Yeah, I'm going to give you a total so far when we get to the end of this order. All right. The next thing I got is a variety pack of almonds. Name brand, Blue Diamond almonds. And you notice everything so far is name brand. These are not knockoffs like what you get at Temu where you get brands that you don't know about. These are all name brand products. Blue Diamond, right? There are 3 packs of lightly salted, 3 packs of wasabi and soy sauce, and 2 packs of dark chocolate. So this is an 8-pack of almonds. Now, almonds are a very healthy snack because typically they are a little bit lower in fat, like a half a gram of fat or 1 gram of fat. The unsaturated fats are low. Cholesterol is usually 0 on these, and these particular packs, the sodium is very low per pack. It's only 30 milligrams. Carbs are very low, 4 grams, 7 grams. But there's lots of fiber, there's lots of protein in these. So in small doses, this is a good way to get the healthy fats, the healthy greases that you need. And it's a nice little snack. All right. So these Blue Diamond nuts, these little packs, this pack in most places I found sold for over $40, this 8-pack, which to me is crazy, but the prices of everything have gone up. I even checked it at Walmart's and it was in the upper 30s at Walmart's for this 8-pack. So at Amazon, because this was an Amazon pallet, $43.68 for item plus tax. In my bid, I paid $4 plus $2.47 for shipping and taxes. So for $6.47, I got $43.68 worth of product. I saved $37.21 on this pack. Again, I can't believe they're so expensive. But I checked Walmart, I checked Targets, I checked the local supermarkets around here. I cannot find them as cheap as I got them. A total of $6.47 for this. Can't find it. All right. So that's a good savings on those. And it's a good, healthy snack for me. And the last thing I got in this particular order, and this was my first order ever on WhatNot, and my first order from SuperBUYS, which is that premier store. This is Golden Tower Cajun seasoning with saffron. Now, I like Cajun seasoning, but literally a pinch. So it just kicks things up a notch. This, all right, is going to last me well beyond whatever its expiration date is. Its expiration date is August 27th of 27. Well, that's my dad's birthday, August 27th. So this is going to last me well beyond. And spices, typically, as long as they don't get moist, as long as they're kept sealed, they'll go beyond their expiration date. This is 5.5 ounces of seasoning. It sells for $9.69, cost plus tax. A different brand of Cajun seasoning for this big bottle I found at my local grocery store for over 11, at Walmart for 12 and change. So this stuff is not cheap in these bigger bottles. I got it for a bid of $3, and then my initial shipping charge and taxes of $4.91. And you'll understand why that shipping was so high when I go over the order with you, okay, in total. So for $7.91, I got an item priced at $9.69. I saved $1.78, but I saved so much on the other products that the only reason I only saved $1.78 on this was because of the initial shipping cost for the orders. So that's the 4 items that I got in my first order. Now, Those items came to a total, and I'm not counting shipping, from Amazon, because this is an Amazon pallet, from Amazon. All right, this cost, items plus tax, came to $98.70. That's crazy for 4 items. But I picked them up for $27.57, all inclusive, item, tax, and shipping. $27.57. So in this particular order, especially on the, with this bug zapper and the PB and the nuts, well, the whole order basically, I saved $71.13. That's ludicrous, right? It's all in black, white, and red. It's all there. It is all there. 4 items. They send you a nice little invoice when you get it. It gives you what your item number is. It says the name of the size of the item number, C10 in this case. If this comes from Mount Pleasant, Tennessee, it gives you your order number and your base bid, your winning bid price. I put all the other information on there. Now, all the other information I get because when you order and that show closes, very shortly after that particular show ends, they will send you an email that says, thanks for your order on SuperBUYS, and it lists out all your items. Within that, it will give you, as you open up each item, it'll give you the total of your winning bid, your taxes, your shipping, of whatever that you might have paid on it. And it includes a video clip of you winning the item. So it'll actually say, okay, blue diamond almonds item A48, Konnee wins, right? So you have verification that you actually win, and that's your item that you bid on. So you can go through not only your email receipts, and then you match it up to this, and it will give you all your totals. Because these are Amazon pallets, you can just scan the barcode, go to Amazon, find out what they're selling for at Amazon, calculate taxes based on where you live. If you have Amazon Prime, obviously you would not pay for shipping unless your total was, well, Amazon Prime, you wouldn't pay for it at all. But at Amazon, for those of us who don't have Prime, as long as our order totals $35 or more, usually it's free shipping. This was over $90, so I would have had free shipping, which is why I did not add it into the prices. But as you can see, just from those items, that's a great sale. And it's a mix. So I got these orders. This was delivered 3 days, 3 days after the sale closed. Now, for me, I'm close to where they are. I'm only a few hours away, so it just has to come straight down Tennessee into lower Alabama, and boom. Not a big deal. And it was shipped USPS, I think, flat rate box, a medium flat rate box. Okay. It came quick. It'll come quick from pretty much anywhere because with SuperBUYS, they usually ship within 1 day. When the shows close, there's people working in the background. When their shows close, they're sorting out the orders, packing everything up, confirming it, printing out your list, printing out your label, so that the very next day, within 24 hours, they're getting these all picked up or sent to the post office, however they do it. And it goes out quickly. We had a tracking number the very next evening. Very happy with that. And I'm very happy with all the products. Not to mention that the young ladies that do these sales, there's a third person, Jake. These came from a show that was conducted by a young lady named Bree, and she's a little firecracker, right? Sweet as a button. Absolutely love her. Very communicative, great sense of humor, but professional yet fun. She did a great job. Now, this next order I'm going to show you, this is a 2-page order. This came from the same place, from SuperBUYS, but this show was conducted by a young lady named Germani, but it's spelled Jermani, but it's pronounced Germany. And she ran this particular show at SuperBUYS, and the live stream for this one was on July 9th. And I got these items on, when did I get them? I got them yesterday. So considering we had a weekend in there, 5 days, 6 days, that's, you don't count the weekend for mailing or shipping. That's really, really quick. So we're going to go over everything in this particular order, and then we're going to talk about how this works, how you do it, what to do, what not to do. All right. So I'm going to go in the order of my invoice. And the very first thing that I'm going to show you is a chicken shredder. Now, I've wanted one of these for a long time, but you know what? I've gotten to the point, I don't trust Temu. And could I have gotten these on Temu? Yes, I could have gotten a very, very, very cheap quality one, but not one like this. This particular one, it's not marked on the box. But when they opened the box, it was totally random. I thought I was getting a black one, but when I opened the box, lo and behold, it's red. I was meant to have this chicken shredder. And look at the size of this. This is not a little rinky-dinky thing like you would get on Temu or AliExpress or someplace else. This thing is massive. When you take it out of the box, you can see it's still wrapped in plastic. It comes with a huge brush, a nice bristle brush for cleaning when you're done, and it has the hook for hanging. That's a bonus. There's one of your little twisty handles. There's your other handle. Let me get this out of the box. Stay right there, box. I might need you. Dropping things all over the place. All right. So let's get this thing open. I've been doing a lot more chicken since I started on my journey. Look how big that is. Look at the size of this thing. This is like an 8-inch plate with all these spikes to shred your chicken and all these spikes up top to shred your chicken. This is huge. I'm going to put the handles in. Oh, if I keep dropping them. Things wrapped in these like little plastic things are very slippery, not to mention full of static. All right, hold on a second here. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Oh, I found it. Hold on. I gotta go down to get it. Okay. Never a dull moment. I'm taking the slippery little plastic off before I drop this one too. I'll probably drop it again. Who cares? All right. Well, they say it's red. It's not red. It's actually kind of orange now that I look at it closely, but they call it red. Right. These snap in here. Let me get these in. There we go. I don't know if you heard that, but that snaps in really tight. I had to put some pressure behind that to get it in. Okay. So there's your handles. Now the tops swivel. Okay, can you see that? These tops actually swivel. It goes on this, and you just have a little twisting party back and forth to shred that chicken up. It might start off this high. It might not actually be touching the bottom when you start, but it'll still work. Yeah, this is kind of more like an orangey than a red. Is orange even an option on this box? No, they call it red. Close enough. But look how big this is. Seriously, it hides my entire face. It's got grippy pads, rubber grips on the bottom. So it's not going to go skittering across your counter as you use it. And especially my counter being butcher block, it's not going to slide back and forth. But this is massive. I can't wait to use this. Very well built, very sturdy. We'll see how it comes out. Impeccable packing. No problem with that. We'll set that over there. It basically shows you how to use it. You clip the knobs in, you put 2 or 3 strips of chicken or small chicken breast. You don't want to fill it and overload it. You want it to have room to move. So if you have one big, huge chicken breast, then just cut it into like maybe 1 piece or 2 pieces before you try shredding it. And then you just put some pressure on it and twist it back and forth, and it tears it up. I've been shredding and chopping a lot of chicken from the soups that I make and making chicken salad for sandwiches and whatnot. Seriously, great deal, great bargain. Now, y'all want to know what that thing cost me, right? Okay. On Amazon and most other places I found, it sells for a similar price, but price plus tax was $10.79. My winning bid was $6 plus 48 cents tax. So I paid $6.48 and I ended up saving $4.31 on that item. Now, as I said, you can get a smaller one, a cheaper one, a less quality one at Amazon, but to get a good quality big one like this, definitely worth $6 bid. All right, you ready for the next item? They call this a potato ricer. It's a ricer, period. I got it for cauliflower so that I can rice my own cauliflower to make different things. I haven't even opened the box yet. As you can see, we're going to open it together. They call it a potato ricer. It says crafted from durable polished stainless steel, ensuring it remains rust-free, perfect for making finely pureed vegetables or for baby food. Potato ricer lets you quickly produce smooth and fluffy mashed potatoes or smooth and fluffy mashed cauliflower instead of potatoes. It's dishwasher safe. It has removable discs to make it easy to clean. It comes with 3 different discs for anywhere from fine grating to large grating. And you want to make sure that you dry it thoroughly before you store it. As with anything else that's stainless steel, you want to keep it from getting rusty. So you always make sure that it's completely dry before you put it away. So let's open it. Oh my goodness. Ouch. Look at this. It looks rose gold, but it's color over stainless steel. There's your potato peeler. And I reached in and grabbed it, and those blades are sharp. So there's to prep if you want to peel your potatoes. Holy cow. That's a serious, look at the teeth on that thing. And then on this side, it's got the ripping teeth, those bigger teeth. That could do some damage or make your life really easy. Oh, it's packed in this beautiful bag. Can we pull this out? It says, "Hi, foodie." That's cute. Thank you for choosing as your trusted kitchen companion. We are absolutely delighted that you recently purchased our high quality ricer. Give us an honest review if you want to. So it says, your satisfaction is our top priority. Take advantage of our lifetime warranty and scan the code. Lifetime warranty. What product gives you that anymore? Comes in this really nice storage bag, which I definitely will be keeping to make it easy, because this is not a tool you use on a regular basis. So let me put that over there. And again, it's more wrapping. Oh, this thing is huge. Look at this. Get this opened up. Push the barrel out from the bottom. You push the barrel up to get it out. There's your press on the top. And the press has, and this is in a rose gold color, just so that you can see it without the barrel. It's got a nice rubber grip on here. It's even got a thumb dent. I don't know if you can see that thumb dent right there. So you can get a good grip. So two-sided grip. Very, very nice. Another for the other side so that you can hold it and hang it. If you want to hang this to store, you can hang it. But when you're squeezing something that hard, you need two places, and that'll do it for you. Let's take a look. This is your barrel. That's your primary barrel. So we'll put the barrel back in. And there's a lip, of course, to stop the barrel from going any further. So there's your basic press. And it's, of course, hollow in the bottom until you put one of these in. 3 different types. You've got your really, really fine, small. You've got your medium. So this would be ricing. This would be something more like making spätzle or little pasta balls. You'd want to use that one. You can see the difference in the size. And then the third one is for bigger chunks. So you've got 3 different sizes, and they all go in very simply. There's a lip in the bottom. You just drop it in. Make sure it's flat in there. That's it. You're ready to press and squeeze. And your handles will not go down any lower than this. That's the bottom of the thing. So when you have food in there, you're not going to be able to go all the way flat with it. But look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? This thing has some weight. My arm is getting heavy from holding it up. This thing has some weight to it. This is very solid. It's riveted very nicely. All the points that have rivets. There's even a little cushion on the inside, so when you're not using it and you close it down, you can store your discs right in it if you want, but if you want it to be flatter, all right, that's how it goes. To store it, if you want to clean it, when you take the bowl out of the bottom, there's nothing to stop the handles from closing all the way down, which is why it's a little bit easier to store if the bowl is not in the bottom of it. It lays a little bit flat. But to me, it just makes a little bit more sense to store it with the bowl in there, to pop and drop these things in the bottom, let it all be together, and store it all in that beautiful bag. This is a bonus. I didn't even realize this was in it, this heavy duty peeler, also with a hanger. I'm happy with that. I am thrilled with that. You want to know what that thing costs? That ricer? Potato ricer, cauliflower ricer, baby food smusher, anything you want to smush. And I can put hard-boiled eggs in that with the bigger disc and just press them down to make egg salad. All I have to do is peel the peels off and drop the eggs in. How easy does that get, right? All right. So this ricer with it sells $29.99 on average, but at Amazon it's $29.99. With taxes, it's $32.39. My winning bid was $3. Yeah, $3 with shipping and tax. Because, and again, we'll talk about how the shipping works. This was the first item that I bid on, so my shipping was almost full price, but it gets prorated. We'll get into that. But $6.45 for shipping and taxing. So for $9.45, I got an item worth $32.39. I saved $22.94. I could have bought 2 or 3 of these things and given them away as gifts. Now, do you always know the value of your item when you're bidding on it? No, but sometimes you do, because I found that sometimes Bree and Germani will like use their phone, scan the item, and tell you what the value of it is, or show it to you on their phone, what the value of the thing is at Amazon. So you know what a deal that you're getting, right? But these are items I've hunted for. So I already kind of know what their value is and what their cost is and what they should be, what they should run me. Yeah, let's keep going. This gets really good. Okay. This is if you have small kids watching, send them to do something else. This is not necessarily adult, but some of you can take it as adult. These are ice molds. They're called pirate molds. And they're just 3 little cones that have handles on the bottom. Right, so that you fill them this way, but you don't have to fill them as far as you want. Now, I got these, for me, these are ice massagers. That's what I use these for. Others use them for different purposes, but I use these as ice massagers, or they fit really good behind the crook of my knee when my knees get swollen. I literally can just wrap it in a thin towel, like a dish rag, and tuck it behind my knee and just squeeze my knee closed and it stays in place. Or you can use these in drinks if you want to. They can be comical. Use your imagination, ladies and gents. Sorry, Jay, I know you're out there. So anyway, these ice molds, believe it or not, they sell for $10. So $10.80 item was taxed. My bid was $3.82 for tax. So $3.82 versus $10.80. I saved $6.98 on these. And for me, they're medicinal. For other people, they might be fun. Kids don't know any better. Kids can use them. You don't have to fill them all the way up. You can just make them look like little frozen eggs, which is technically kind of what I do most of the time. All right. The next items, it's a twofer. And y'all saying, Konnee, you shouldn't have this. Konnee, you're trying to lose weight. You shouldn't have this. Well, believe it or not, I can have this a little at a time. It's a 2-pack of, look, Betty Crocker creamy chocolate frosting. And it's not the dark chocolate, it's just the regular chocolate. These things, for 2 of them, in your regular grocery store, Targets, Walmarts, discount stores, whatever, $4.48. I did get a little savings on this because I got the 2 of them for only $3. And then, of course, I had to pay my taxes. So I still saved on this, not a lot, but my total savings after shipping, tax, cost of my bid versus the retail cost plus tax, I saved 15 cents. But you know what? It's 15 cents, and I didn't have to run to the store to get them. They were delivered right to my door with everything else. And another thing, so I don't forget to tell you later on, when they're doing the auctions, they will always give you the expiration dates. They will not sell you anything that's expired, even if you say, you know what, it's okay, I don't care that it's expired. They're not allowed to. they could lose their permit as sellers. So if you ever have a question that they haven't give you the expiration date on something, just ask. Just put expires question mark, and they'll give that to you. All right. Okay. The next thing I got, and I was thrilled to get this because you saw me get a smaller pack of these from AliExpress, which I paid a lot more for, but I got these. This is a set, I believe, of 8 trays, 8 pieces. And I'll show you all the pieces. Let's take a look at these. And then I'll tell you the amazing deal that I got on them. I'm going to have a lot of garbage for the garbage run this week. Okay. So we got 3 little ones. And I call these little catch trays, little knicky-knack trays. These are good for pins, clips, whatever the case may be. So you can also use these. Some of these I'm going to use in my pantry. Some of these I'm going to use for my desk. And some of these I'm actually going to use for my nail polish and that I do and my jewelry business. So I'm going to be spreading these around. So you've got 3 little cups, and each one of these holds probably about a third of a cup of fluid. If I were to tell you, maybe a third of a cup, maybe a little bit more, but a third of a cup. And they do lock together. They have these little catch lips. Can you see that right there? Where they slide underneath the one next to it, and they lock together. So they are connectable. So there's 3 little ones. And then you get 3 of the elongated ones. And this was what I had gotten from AliExpress, a set of 3 of these to use for my dishes. All right. So you get 3 of these. And again, these lock together. These are about 9, 8, maybe 9 inches. They'll hold a standard fork, spoon, whatever the case may be, pens, pencils, that kind of stuff. So that's pretty good size right there. You get 3 of those. Push that over there. And then you get 2 of the larger flat trays. So the little ones I'm going to use for the business. The medium-sized ones are probably going to go into my bedroom to hold like hair clips and things like that. And then these are going to go in my pantry to hold other things that I need to be able to slide in and out easy. So these, again, are about 8 inches. They're about 1 inch deep. And of course, they too latch together. They have this interlocking lip. Can you see that right there? That goes underneath the one next to it so that they latch together. These are identical material to what I got at AliExpress, but not identical price. These trays with tax, before tax $6.99, with tax $7.55 for me. I got them for $4 plus 79 cents tax. So $4.79 versus $7.55. I saved $2.76 on an 8-piece set. What do you think so far? Good variety, right? A good mix of everything. All right, up next. We have about 4 more items, I think, in here. This is a 3-pack. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is a 3-pack of windshield crack repair. Let me open this up. Now, I got my first crack in my windshield. My car is 9 years old, only has about 42,000 miles on it. I'm going down the highway here, following a dump truck. It kicked up a stone and it gave me a small crack not even the size of a quarter. I'd say maybe the size of a dime, just off to the side of my view. So it's not right in the middle, but it will get worse if I don't do something. So it's a 3-pack of the crack repair. At least one of these is going to go into the goodie box for you guys. So I'm going to put it right there. So that's something for the new goodie box I'm doing. Obviously, I'm going to keep one for myself and possibly a spare. So let's see what's in here. Comes with your little bottle of fluid. And because you don't use a lot, this little bottle will go a long way. It comes with your invisible. Can you see that? The little film that you use. There's one piece. I don't know if it comes with more than that. Instructions. Okay, that's all that's in there. So let me put that little thin film in there. So this little film, basically, you're going to cut it just to the size that you need, only enough to cover the crack, and you're going to trim it so that it kind of shapes around the crack, and doesn't make like a really big, you don't use the whole thing, really big, obnoxious thing. So the directions for it say, maybe the directions are on the box. This is just something else. Here we go. Drop 1 drop of resin on the crack. So this goes directly on the crack. And then you cover it with the piece of film. Use a razor blade or something hard to kind of scrape out any bubbles, just as if you were applying contact paper and you wanted to get bubbles out of it. All right. So you're going to do that and you're going to scrape it. And then you're going to make sure that your vehicle is sitting in direct sunlight for at least 30 minutes, or you can use a UV lamp to help cure it. Once it's cured, then you tear off the film and scrape off any excess resin. So this will fill the cracks. The film will help push it and keep it in there until it cures. Then you peel the film off and you scrape off any residue. So this is a 30 minutes from crack to repair. And I'm definitely going to try this. And when I do, I will video it for you guys so that you can actually see it being done. You can see the before crack. You can see the whole process. You can see the after crack as well. All right. So this was a 3-pack, but one of you guys is going to get 1 pack on it. And let's take a look at what this cost. This crack repair, wow. Okay, on average, they sell for $6 each. This is a 3-pack, so it was $18 plus tax, means $19.44. I got the 3-pack for $4 with 32 cents tax. So $4.32 versus $19.44. I saved $15.12. I don't have an expensive repair to do. Yes, my insurance does cover glass repair, but if I can do it myself and not have any hits on my insurance coverage, I'd rather try it myself. Now, keep in mind, this says windshield repair. If you have any glass that has a spider crack in it or a small ding or crack, try it. Mine has a crack. It doesn't actually have a hole. It just has a crack. So it's going to rain today. It's very cloudy outside. I can't do it today, but I am excited to do it anyway. So probably in my next video, that will be part of the segment of what's going on around the corner so that you can see how I followed up with that. Okay. 3 more things. I told you, household. Look at this variety of stuff and the prices I got it for. You're going to walk into a store, you're not going to pay these kind of prices. Not to mention that you have to go out, physically do the shopping, spend your gas, spend your time walking around the store, your time and energy, pay higher retail prices for this stuff, lug it on home, and then put it away. I sat here comfortable on my couch, ordered the items that I was interested in, for a price I was willing to pay, and got them delivered to my door. Guys, come on. All right. Amazon basics. If you ever tried Amazon products, these are great. This is the equivalent of Dawn. Seriously, this is Dawn. If you compare the ingredients on the back of this bottle to Dawn, they're identical. It may be made by Dawn. Who knows? But this is a huge bottle. This is 30 fluid ounces. And considering I don't wash much by hand, this will probably last me a couple of years. Literally, I put everything in the dishwasher except for oversized pans. So this is a massive bottle. It's sealed on the top, which I can take off now. It came wrapped in foam inside its own plastic bag. They did everything they could to protect it from leaking within the box, and it didn't leak. Okay. 30 ounces of this. This retails with tax for $5.98. Even at the Dollar Tree, I can't get a bottle this big. You only get the small bottles for $1.25 or $1.50. But this retails for $5.98. My winning bid was for $4. So I saved almost $2 on this. I saved $1.98 on that. $1.98 is a pretty good savings. That lets me buy something else that I need, right? You got to remember, when you're bidding, you have to keep in mind the value of the product and that you're still going to pay taxes on it, and your bid is still most likely going to have some sort of shipping attached to it. So you have to do the math before you say, okay, this is how they show you the product. Hello. And right off the bat, my brain goes, okay, I know this bottle runs about $6 place else. And on the bottom, it tells me what my shipping is going to be for it. And then, of course, I know my taxes are 8% or 7%, whatever. I always go by 8%, even though it's really not here. So I automatically do the math really quick. And then I said, okay, this is what I'm willing to pay. And I won't bid any higher than that. I just won't. Even if it means I lose the item, I won't. I stay in my budget. So that was a good deal. This family-sized veggie blend Cheerios. This is never in stock in my store. Never. I had been waiting for this to come back in stock, and every time I try to order it, it's not in stock. This is the family size 1 pound, 2 ounce. In other words, 18 ounces. Apple, strawberry, and it's with spinach, carrot, and sweet potatoes. And this is what I'm going to have for breakfast today because it's early and I haven't had my breakfast yet. So while this video is uploading or while I'm editing, I'm going to have this. So this is Veggie Blend Cheerios. It is gluten-free. Love that, right? 1/4 cup fruit and veggies per servings. Everything is low in here. Sodium is low. Cholesterol is low. Fats are low, like 2 grams, and that's it. I mean, it's the healthy version. So this massive box of Cheerios, this retails for approximately $4.93 is the cheapest you can get it, and that's on Amazon. And with tax, that's $5.33. My winning bid was $3 plus tax. So I saved about $1 on this. But again, the convenience of it, brand new sealed package, not open, not damaged, just simply a return for whatever reason, was to my benefit. All right. One more item down in this big old box. This was frivolous, but it made me laugh. And anything that makes me do a belly laugh, I just have to have. Hold on. Coffee doesn't make me laugh, but I had to have that too. This is a climbing solar lantern, and it's a rabbit. Now, the box doesn't do it justice. I'm going to actually show you. Oops, as soon as I cut it open. These are new in box. That's why you have to open them. They'll open a different one to show it to you. There's your little user manual. Shows you what I'm about to show you is a rabbit climbing a rope. And I have bunnies like crazy around here. So when I saw that, I thought, you know what? I got to have this thing. All right, let's get into this. I get the foam over there. I'm trying to lean over the box with the sprinkly foam. There's the little light fixture, and we'll check it in a second to see if it works. And here's our little bunny man. He's got foam all over him. I got to get rid of this foam. I don't need it all over the house. Okay, so there's a little hook on his hand. That's where the lantern hooks on. I'm going to hook that lantern on to his hand. There we go. He's got the rope, and the rope does have a knot, so it won't come up past him. In other words, it'll stay that way. And it's got a good metal loop on the top. You've seen this kind of rope before on a shelf that I got from Temu, but this whole thing is about 2 feet long. And what cracked me up is this bunny rabbit looks like he's stoned. He seriously looks like he's wasted. He's like, yeehaw! So this is going to hang out at the tree at the front of the house on the side of the driveway. Because there's already a hook there. Somebody had a planter there at one point. But I'm going to put this out there and let him hang. He's heavy. I gotta say, he has some weight. He's solid. He is not hollow. He is solid. And the cute little lantern. And let's see here. Now, it's supposed to be a solar lantern. The solar panel. I don't know where the solar panel is. Maybe it's on, oh, it's on the inside. Okay. So right now, the light is on. Well, it's a mixture. It's off. Okay, because it's getting enough. But if it gets darker, if I do something to block the light from hitting it, then it comes on. But it's totally solar. I'm gonna go out and hang this up in about like 5 minutes. He's so cute. And he just totally looks like he's having the time of his life. I don't know whether he's climbing up or sliding down. To me, it looks more so like he's sliding down. It's even got a little tail on the back. Seriously, this is the kind of fun stuff that you can find for pennies. I'm going to put him over here. Hopefully he won't fall. Okay, let me turn that off for now until I get it outside. But anyway, I'm still laughing when I see him. What can I tell you? Okay, so the solar rabbit with tax, the total is $24.83. Now they also have, I think I saw a solar bear as well, but fortunately there's no bears around me, but there are rabbits like crazy. But $24.83. My winning bid was $4 plus 32 cents tax. So $4.32 versus $24.83. I saved $20.51 just on that item. So this entire second order had a value, a retail value, if you were to walk out and shop and get all these things that I showed you in this second order, $121.59. But my total out-of-pocket cost, items, tax, and shipping, $47.25. I saved $74.34. Saved that much. So between these two orders, 27 and 47, I got, well, you do the math. 121.59 for one order, and I don't know what I did with the slip for the other order, but anyway, I'll put the figure up here of what it worked out to be. I saved $74 on one order and 40 something on the other order. I saved over $100 on this stuff, and I still got everything that I would use, everything that I need, and just the one little frivolous money, right? But for $4? Hello? Okay. So, hold on, I got to adjust my cushion here. What's my opinion, number one, of the premier shop on WhatNot called SuperBUYS? A plus, across the board, A plus. The hosts, whether it be Brie, Germany, or oh gosh, who's the third one? He's brand new too, and I can't think of his name. I'm sorry. I can't think of his name. But anyway, the three of them, absolutely amazing. You can ask them any questions that you want. You can ask for certain items. I was looking for certain things, so I would put in the chat box what I was looking for. They immediately would let me know yes or no they have it. If they did have it, they would run it. In other words, running it means they're going to put it up for auction. The way they pack their items, the quick shipping on their items, everything, their communication, the receipts, the emails that you get two or three emails. You get a thank you for your order. You get an email acknowledging that your item has been packed. You get an email acknowledging that your item has been shipped with the tracking number. Then you get another email saying that your item has been delivered. It's absolutely crazy. They go so far above and beyond with their customer service skills, their communication. They look at their products, and if they pull something out that they don't like, they don't even show it. Nope, and they just set it over there. You don't even get to see what it was. They're like, nope. It's above board. This is a 5-star rated. They have, I don't know, 50,000 followers. They have an enormous, this is the best shop. And I checked out dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. And this was the one shop that I landed on that rose to the top. So over the next few videos, I'm going to introduce you to a couple of other shops that are also premier shops that, for my opinion, rose to the top of the bunch and are places that I will revisit and reshop from. So let's talk about WhatNot and how to navigate it, because it's really not all that hard to do. And I'm going to try to wrap this part up in the next 15 minutes because we're already at an hour and 15 minutes long into this video. I'm just so excited to show you everything. Okay, number one rule of thumb. When you go to whatnot.com, the first thing you're going to do is, yes, set up an account, but don't put your credit card or anything on file yet. Just your name, your email address, just the very basics of account, because I am recommending that you do not even attempt to bid on anything if you're new to WhatNot. If you haven't already been there before, then don't try to bid on your very first visit. Your first visit is exploratory only. All right. It's an exam. It's a test to see if you're going to like it or if you are going to be compatible to shopping via an auction website. So go ahead and set up your basic account. Now, when you set up an account, WhatNot is automatically going to give you a $15 product credit which means that for your bids, in other words, my bid of $3 or $4, whatever it was for this, all right, I didn't pay the bid price. I only paid any applicable shipping and or taxes, but not the actual bid price. That came off of the $15. So this would have cost me $32 plus whatever the shipping might or might not have been. Shipping's a little tricky, so we'll get into that in a minute. Be patient, all right? So set up your account. That'll get you your $15 credit ready to start. All right. And that's a great way to start because you can see on average, these bids, $3 and $4, the things that I'm winning, you can get 4 or 5 items for that $15 and only have to pay your shipping and your taxes. That's a really good bargain. Okay. So you're going to be a watcher. Right now, you're going to watch. So step 2 is go to SuperBUYS. Just put it up in the search bar, SuperBUYS, all one word, no spaces. Go to SuperBUYS, find their live auction. Because if they don't have a live one going, they usually have 1 or 2 a day. You don't have to wait long. All right. Just look at when if there's a live one, click on that and go to that. If there is not a live one, it'll show you when the next one is. And remember, the dates are backwards. So it might say 18/7. That means the 18th of July or in the next couple of days. So you can go in, you can bookmark it, you can save it so that when you save it and that auction starts, you'll get an alert on your phone. So step number 2 is you're going to go to the auction and you're just going to sit back and watch it. Literally watch it. You're not going to bid on anything. And I can't warn you about this enough. If you think you got addicted to Temu Easy, this will pull you even further. This is not a rabbit hole. This is a jack rabbit hole because it will jack you up in a heartbeat if you're not careful. So what you're going to watch for? The first thing is you're going to watch the product that they're going to pull out and show you. Look at the box. If it's something you're interested in, go ahead, type a question in. What size is it? Does it need batteries? Is it electric? But anytime you ask a question, you must put a question mark at the end of it so that what that does is that highlights it in yellow and it draws the host to your question so they can answer that before they start running the item for auction. So make sure you're ready to type, all right, and always include that question mark. So check out the product description. If you want to see more, if it's in the box and they're not open it, you just type open it, question mark. They'll open it to show you more if you're something you're really interested in and you want to see it more, then yes, by all means, ask. All right. So don't be afraid to ask the questions. But remember, I can't stress it enough. That question mark has to be at the end. So you're also going to look down once the item starts running. The host will tell you, okay, 5 seconds, which is sudden death, or 10 seconds. Usually, SuperBUYS only runs their auctions for 10 seconds. It's that quick. All right. So it's move it or lose it if you're ready to bid. But right now you're not. Remember, you're just a watcher. I got to keep reminding you, you're just a watcher. So when it starts running, the first thing I want you to do, and don't try to catch everything on the first item. The first thing I want you to focus on is look at, there'll be a little blurb right below the screen. You can't miss it. It'll tell you it'll give you like 4-7, meaning that's like 4 to 7 ounces. That tells you what the shipping rate is going to be. And then it'll give you information. If you're a new bidder, if you haven't done any bids, you'll see shipping and it might look high. It could say $9.21. All right. Don't freak. We'll talk about that in a minute. We're getting closer to talking about shipping, but it will show you all of that. So focus on that. Get used to looking at that and seeing what it says, because for every item, depending on the weight of the item, it will change the dollar amount of the shipping. If you don't see the shipping amount change, let's say it stays at $9.71, That's simply because you've never placed a bid during this particular show. Not with this shopper, not with the shop, but in this particular show that you're watching, this segment. All right. Today's show runs from, say, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. If you haven't placed a bid before the show ends for the day with that particular host, then your shipping amount on the bottom is not going to change. It only changes after you've placed your first bid. So watch what it shows you. All right, that's number one. Do that for a couple of items. The next time an item comes up, maybe 3, 4 items down the road, once you get the comfort level with looking at, okay, this is a heavier item, so they're charging more shipping, makes sense. All right. Then I want you to watch the clock, the little timer that's off to the side, because you'll see that it'll start at 5 seconds or you'll see it starts at 9 or 10 seconds. Watch how the timer goes down. Every once in a while, you'll see a little plus sign. It might be +2, +3, +4. That's basically, it's not adding seconds. What it's letting you know is it's the calculation of how much time you have left to bid before it actually closes. Because sometimes the timer itself, there can be a lag between your computer when you're seeing things and the actual live time. So the computer might say it has 3 seconds, but you saw that little +4, which means you're kind of like ahead of the game. You have 4 seconds to bid. Keep an eye on how that timer goes down, because you know what? 10 seconds goes by really quick, really quick. So watch that. And then when the auction is done, you'll see who won. It'll tell you. You'll get a little pop-up at the bottom of the screen. It'll be a black pop-up with yellow writing, and it'll say so-and-so won. And it may show the dollar amount of the bid. It might say $3 or $4. And you'll go like, that's it? That's all they paid for that? What? Watch those things. Make note of the shipping cost. Watch the timer. Make sure you focus on the product description and be cautious. Is this something you really want? Is this something you can use? Is this something that you know would make a great gift for somebody? All right. And don't be afraid to ask the questions. Now, after you've spent a fair amount of time, and I would say a fair amount of time watching this and getting the knack for the flow of it and how it goes, if you're ready, if you feel confident, then add your credit card, your PayPal, your Venmo. They have all different types of payment sources. I use PayPal again because it keeps my information private and it gives me that tracking information. So it leaves that paper trail. It gives me that purchase protection that you don't get from like your bank or whatever the case may be. All right. So you're ready to bid. Number one thing you need to know, you cannot cancel your bid. If you place a bid on something, you go, oh crap, I didn't want to bid on that. Or you change your mind, or when you get it, it's not what you really wanted. Guess what? You're stuck with it. Okay. Bids cannot be canceled. I did find one shop with one host that does cancel bids if that bid is canceled during the course of that particular live show. In other words, if you bid on that and then 30 seconds later you're like, oh man, I didn't realize it was that color. I didn't mean to bid on it. You can put a note on it and he will consider canceling your bid. So you need to bid responsibly. This is not like Temu, is that you don't get refunds without returns. You don't get refunds unless your product is damaged and you prove it. You cannot do returns simply because you changed your mind or it's the wrong size, doesn't fit, etc. This is an as is purchase. All right. You get what you get. So you must be certain before you bid on something. I can't stress that enough, guys. So don't say you weren't warned. I have forewarned you as much as I possibly can. All right. Now, when you are ready to bid, go slow. Watch the item, look at the description, go over everything. On the bottom, when you're ready to bid, once you have what they call a wallet set up and an item post, you'll see a little yellow bar on the bottom that says bid. You swipe right to place your bid. It does have a bar for custom, but you've got to be quick with custom, because if you see an item you really want and they haven't started running it yet, you can go into custom and put in your max that you're willing to pay for this item. And I've only done that on 2 items, and they were very high priced items, which are from a different shop. And I'll explain that to you when we get to it. But stay away from the custom button because you're new, or if you're new. When you see an item that you want to bid, in your head, quickly, again, do the math. How much is this product worth to you? It will, your shipping, you got to remember you're brand new. So you're going to pay your shipping up front. It's usually $9.71. It might be $4.56 or 57 cents. They might break it into 2, but you're going to have a higher shipping cost on your very first item, because the minute you bid for one item, you've generated a box to ship in. They don't ship in bags. Everything goes in a box, small, medium, or large box. All right. So the item comes up, they run it. Your eyes immediately go to your shipping so that you know, okay, you've already figured out what you want to spend. You add that price to shipping. Do you want to bid? If you do, swipe right. And it'll immediately say either you're winning or you've been outbid. Keep your price in mind. Watch the price that's over the timer. You know your max. If you really want an item, I'm going like $1 over my max on a couple of these things, but look at the deals I still got. Instead of bidding $3, I bid $4. Don't get crazy swiping right a gazillion times. You don't need to do that. You swipe till you're comfortable. If you lose an item, sometimes they have multiples. But if you lose an item, there's nothing you can do about it. If they don't have more at that time, they may have more when they open another pallet, right? Because I've seen lots of duplicates and lots of items come out that they've had before, and I've already got. Yesterday, I was watching the show with Germani, and I saw a lot of things like the ricer that I'd already gotten, and the Cheerios and the PB that I've already gotten. So they do come around again because a lot of these pallets have similar items in them. All right. So don't go crazy bidding, but do remember when you first start, you do get that $15 credit for the bid amount only, not for tax and shipping. Okay. I know you guys are going to have lots of questions, so by all means, put them down in the comments. Now, let's talk more about the shipping. With SuperBUYS, here's how it works. Because I've done 1, 2, 4 orders. I still have 2 more coming from SuperBUYS. When you first go into a show, like yesterday morning, I got the notification, or yesterday afternoon, excuse me. I got the notification right around 12 o'clock that Germani was now live with SuperBUYS, and she was starting her show, which she did host for, I think, 4.5 hours. So I got the notification. I went on board, and in the chat, it'll say your username, whatever you picked, has joined. And I go by Konnee Con. Instead of Comic Con, I go by Konnee Con. Never mind. You'll get it eventually. If not, it'll go over the head and slap you in the back. So it'll say Konnee Con has joined, and it'll have a little wave hand up there so that the host can see who's coming into the show. And they've gotten to know me already because I'm an active chat person. And believe it or not, she watches my channel. So hi, Germani. So when you sign on, you'll be actively in the chat. Right off the bat, if you're looking for something in particular, ask your question. Like I'm always looking for dog treats, cleaning products, paper products, kitchen items. So you keep it, no big long sentences, guys. Everything has to be really, really short. All right. Kitchen question mark. Dog, question mark. Snacks, question mark. Bed linens, question mark. You get it? Keep it really, really short. These auctions move fast. So you get in there and you haven't purchased anything yet, but something comes up. Let's say this bottle came up, right? So the minute she hits the run button, she goes, okay, I'm going to run her for 10 seconds, which is the average. I look down immediately to see what my shipping is, and I know I'm going to see more than likely $9.71 in shipping. And I know more than likely over the course of the next 4 hours, I'm going to buy at least one more item from that auction, if not two or three. I always set for myself a budget of the amount that I'm going to spend. And that budget is now with Temu, I have it set at $40 orders. With WhatNot, I have it set at $30 orders. And I'm coming in well under that, with the exception of the second order I did, but that had like 9 items in it. So to me, that's like 2 orders combined, but I still came in under budget. So I looked at my shipping. I bid on the item. I got it. All right. I won. They had 2 or 3 of them, so other people got the rest of them. You can bid on more if you want. If you want to get 2 bottles of this and they have another one, you can try to win it by bidding on it. But when your next item comes up that you want to bid on and they start running it, all right, I said, okay, here goes where I'm running it, which means the clock is counting. You look at your shipping and you'll see your shipping either went to where it says free shipping plus tax, or your shipping went down to pennies or $1 something or whatever based on the weight of the item. So all of a sudden, your shipping costs are low to none because you've paid that price for the box with your first item. It's only when you start adding things that have a certain amount of weight to them. You heard me say on many of these items that I only paid the tax because I paid the shipping. For example, on the ricer, even though I got the ricer for $3, I had to pay part of the shipping, which was $6.45. But after that, the chicken shredder, I only paid the tax, the ice molds, the frosting, the trays. I mean, everything else that came in there. The solar rabbit, the $25 solar rabbit, I paid $4 and only 32 cents tax. No additional shipping because you pay your shipping upfront. Does that make more sense now? So don't let the shipping on your very first item in any auction, not your first item ever. It's your first item per show. Think of it like a TV show. If the auction starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and ends at 12 noon, that's your window to shop. Your shipping is on your first item that you get after 8 o'clock. And once that show closes at 12 and that host says, bye, see you, and she or he signs off, right? Then that's it. If you go into their afternoon show at 1 o'clock, that runs from 1 to 4:30, and maybe Bree was in the morning show and Germani was in the afternoon show, then the afternoon show, you start all over again because that's a new show. It's a new time slot, which means it's a new shipping. Okay? It doesn't carry over simply because you're with the same shop. Just because you're at SuperBUYS in the morning and you stay for the afternoon show and maybe you spend 8 hours watching it, doesn't work that way. Your shipping cuts off and starts new every time a new host comes in. So that's how the shipping works. Now, the packaging, impeccable. It's absolutely incredible on how they package up all their items. You do get, as I said, you do get it quickly. For me, it only takes a few days because they're in Tennessee. If you're close to any one of these shops, you can do local pickup and not have to pay any shipping. So all you have to do is in your settings, when you set up your account, once you know where a show is, for example, SuperBUYS is in Tennessee. I believe they're in Mount Pleasant or Columbia, which they're like neighboring towns. But if you go into your settings and you click on your location, it's going to know you can do pickup, right? And if you're not sure how to do pickup, just put the question in the chat during the show. How do I set up pickup? And they'll tell you exactly where you need to do that in your settings to set up pickup. Okay. So you can save on your shipping costs if you're close. Now, I'm about a 4-hour drive from them, so I'm not going to drive 4 hours. That would kind of be a moot point. However, if I was vacationing up in the area in Tennessee and I happened to be watching the show, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll swing over tomorrow because I'm only a half hour away or an hour away. But don't count on doing any of the local pickups for this kind of stuff. Unless I said, of course, because I know I have viewers in Tennessee, you might want to do that. All right. So that's the basics. Now, one more thing, refunds, returns. Again, you can get a refund if your item is damaged. You have to send them a picture of the damaged item, and they will either give you a full or partial refund. And what they do is they give you a credit back to spend at their store. Or actually, you get a credit on your account and at WhatNot, and you can spend it at any store. But you'll get a credit back for your item. Again, it's discretionary as to how much you get. Returns, no. You don't get to do any returns whatsoever. And again, you cannot cancel your bids. They don't want the items back. They will not take the items back. They will not refund you unless, of course, you get something that is damaged. Or maybe you open the box and you were supposed to get a bug zapper, and inside of it, it's got a pack of balloons. If you got completely sent the wrong item, the item does not match what's on your manifest. The item does not match your video receipt, all right, or your email receipt that you get to show this is what they're showing you. If I had opened that rabbit box, and even though the box said rabbit on the outside, if I had opened it on the inside and it was a bear, then yes, they would have refunded me because I got the wrong item, right? Clearly, not what I ordered, not what I bid on, mispackaged. So if you want to avoid that, again, have them open the packages. They're very responsible. They like to sell things new in box, unopened. It doesn't fall to them if it's wrong, but they will make it right if that's what happens. So hopefully that's clear as well. And we're going to wrap this. So, WhatNot versus Temu for these kind of things. WhatNot is more basic shopping. Again, stick with the premier shows. I am recommending to all my viewers that you start with SuperBUYS. Baby stuff, kids stuff, adolescents, electronics. I've got pillows, blankets, dog stuffs. I've got a new bed coming for Levi and a whole bunch of dog treats. I've got people treats coming from people treats for me coming. Things I need for around the house. High-end electronics coming that I picked up for a sniffle of a price, a sneeze of a price. So watch, check them out. I personally think it's worth it. Yes, I do have, I think 3, maybe 4 more orders coming from Temu, but I have a total of maybe 6 things coming from different shops at WhatNot, 6 orders coming from different shops at WhatNot that I am testing out for you. Credibility for SuperBUYS is an A+, every way, shape, or form. So start there. If you have any questions or concerns, please leave them below in the comments. And in the meantime, just give me a big thumbs up for this extra long video, 1 hour and 40 minutes. Oh my gosh, guys, that's a record. Share it. Let everybody know what's going on out there with WhatNot and what you can do and how much you can save. And if you're not yet a member of this channel, this is just another one of those things that I bring you. I will help do subscriber spotlights like I did for Miss Brenda. And today I have spotlighted for you SuperBUYS, the SuperBUYS shop on WhatNot. And you can't go wrong with either, right? So remember, Stay hydrated. Above all else, please stay sweet. And I will catch you soon with something from somewhere. Bye.